In contemporary anthropocentric life, we are disconnected from many of the systems and processes that we depend on. Take food, for example, that is grown far away with practices unfamiliar to us and is likewise distributed. A disconnect is created between ourselves and the ecosystems of farmland, but also our responsibility for our own local ecosystems. I propose that we shift to an ecocentric way of life in which communities are built on local ecosystems, reestablishing their connections and responsibilities to the environment, while becoming resilient, self-sufficient, and capable of meeting the global market on their own terms. The shift I propose is radical localism. To achieve this in Cottonwood, the shift needs to work with the community character. To illustrate, Cottonwood does not have a city hall, rather the uses that make up the function of a city hall are distributed in a number of buildings throughout town. So what does radical localism look like in Cottonwood? To begin, the changes must be gradual, taking place in phases, and match the community's inclination for decentralization. In Phase 1, small-scale gardens and farms are established as shared spaces between existing buildings, forming clusters distributed throughout town. As native species are grown in these gardens, we learn how the ecosystem is balanced and how we can live within it in equilibrium. In Phase 1, property lines are changed in order to establish this shared space of the garden. Task buildings are built to help with its running. Retrofits to the existing buildings are made so that graywater and rainwater collection systems are helping support the farm. Phase 2 will happen naturally. As farms are established across town, lifestyles, culture, art, and economies will grow up around them. There will be a focus on event and celebration spaces, so restaurants, hospitality, and residential additions will be added as part of the built environment. In between the buildings and the farm, other spaces are naturally occurring that can be turned into public amenities for the clusters. Phase 3 continues to generate an intensity of uses on the site, while keeping the local ecosystem an integral part in developing the in-between spaces as intentionally as the farm or the buildings themselves. As these communities grow tighter, we can see a future in which less space is being taken for buildings and more space is given to the natural environment as it is integrated into Cottonwood.